Okay, welcome again to our 14th battle report for the DeepWars Abyssal Realms universe. In this battle report, we're excited to bring you something a little bit special. We are bringing subs into the game. Subs were added to the game system and the rule book through the Blood Reef supplement that was a Kickstarter a couple years ago. And we finally got our subs painted and we're ready to put them on the table. And so it bears witness to maybe spend a few minutes talking about exactly what subs do and what they're capable of. John, why don't you tell us, why don't you give us a summary about submersibles?
Submersibles have a profile card like any other model in the game. They have quality, they have a combat stat, they have weapons, they have armor, they have special items. There's some standard rules that all subs have. They have a vehicle rule, which is similar to artificial, but they do not have an autonomous intelligence. To crew a sub, you have to have a pilot and a gunner. You can have one model do both, but they have a penalty to their reaction. The pilot and gunner have to have an Ethertech score of equal or better than the sub's Ethertech levels. Movement on subs is a little bit different. There can be no changes in movement if the pilot is transfixed, fallen, entangled, or dead. The pilot can select one free action like normal, or they can attempt to activate, and that will be either using the sub's quality or the pilot's quality if it's better than the sub's, and I think it generally will be.
Right.
In each success, we'll give it one vehicle action, so what you can do with those vehicle actions is a little different. Subs have an automatic movement. They start the game at speed 1, which means they're moving a medium stick every turn.
And most subs move a medium stick, right?
Yep. But you can also move in reverse up to one speed level. So you can spend one action to change a speed level, and you get up to speed level 3, which would mean you'd be moving 3 medium sticks a turn. Mm-hmm. You can also use an action to change heading, and subs can only move up to 90 degrees with a heading change. And you can also spend actions to fire weapons.
So you have to spend an action to turn as well as move?
Yes.
Correct. Okay, gotcha.
And you also, if you wish to exit the submarine, the sub has to go to a complete stop. And regardless of your speed level, you can spend one action to drop anchor, and the sub goes to a complete stop. Then the pilot has to, if you want to exit, has to spend another action to open the hatch.
Gotcha.
And you can either open the top hatch or the bottom hatch. If you open the top hatch, models then are placed on top of the sub when they exit. Mm-hmm. If you open the bottom hatch, they're placed adjacent to the base of the submarine.
Gotcha.
Combat works basically the same as it does for regular models, except that it takes a vehicle action to fire the gun, but the combat score you get, you roll off the gunner's combat stat.
Mm-hmm. But the actions are supplied by the pilot, correct?
Correct. They're supplied by the pilot to the vehicle actions.
Gotcha.
There's also ramming. So if you move into contact with a model or enemy, you get to make a hand-to-hand attack with the ram, and that does use the sub's combat stat and the combat value of the ramming weapon.
Gotcha.
And there's some other issues, like if you cross terrain features or you run aground.
Gotcha. And there's some special rules that we'll talk about if we encounter those in the battle report.
Yep.
Okay, great. Thank you, John. I think next up, let's. So we've kind of covered what subs do. Now we're going to go into the list and describe, how we built our list and what's in them, and then we'll get started with the battle.
So this is my Fortune Hunter list that I brought today. It's designed to be used around the submarine. The pilot will be the medical officer. She's 77 points, which is nice and cheap, and she's quality 3. But she will get to quality 2 due to proximity to my leader, Iron-Bellied Clegg, who I'm planning on keeping in the sub and giving out that leadership bonus. I'm going to use a tactical dive soldier for my gunner. Like Greg said, the only thing important is the combat value, and they're an easy combat 4 model. So for my spell casting, I've got a Templar Shadow Slayer. So we have not used one of those before. I think they've got some neat magic abilities. And then I've got a combat engineer. I'm planning on keeping in my sub and doing repairs on it as needed. And then I have a couple other models that I'll be able to engage with that being a heavy support trooper and my Templar Shadow Slayer. And the Templar Shadow Slayer has been a great beat stick for me in the past. I'm hoping that he keeps it up today.
Okay, this is my 800-point Dark Mariners list. It's got the Coelamic Bio Sub, which is 211 points. It's the showcase model for the Dark Mariners force today. It is being commanded by Lithiana. She's 144 points, and she's quality 2. I picked her because she's one of the few quality 2 models out of the box for the Dark Mariners, and so activating with her as pilot is going to be result in a lot of good activations for the sub. The Gunner is the Lightning Sniper. I picked him because he's got a reasonable quality, but I'm looking for that Combat 4 model, which is not a mech construct or artificial or an undead or some other model. It's a living model, so he can actually use the tech to fire the weapon. The crew is then going to be led by Melindil Runeseer. He's a leader, and he is 94 points. He's quality 3, combat 2. He's got the leadership ability, and he's also got a control device. I don't have any biomechs in this list, but he can serve as both leader for living troops and biomechs as well. I've got the Cephalid Aethermancer and Yochloth the Mind Stealer. They are both my spellcasters. So there's, we're going to see some Aethermancer magic out there, and we're going to see some psychic magic spells being cast by those two guys. And then the Beat Stick is the Vanguard Warrior. Really like that model. He's a good heavy hitter, and he does plenty of damage, and he's a little bit tanky. So hopefully he'll be able to do some melee beat face for this list. Okay, today's scenario will be Skirmish, and that's basically the battle to the death, right?
Yep.
All right, tell us a little bit about it.
You get 1 victory point for every killed or fleeing troop model, 2 victory points for killed or fleeing personality models, and 3 victory points for killed or fleeing leader, hero, or sea shaman. And as a bonus, 5 experience points for the last warband standing. Okay, so it's a battle to the death. And now our environment is going to be shallow shelf. It's going to be 2 sticks. It's going to be clear visibility with 2 sticks visibility. And let's go ahead and roll for attacker defender, John. John will be the copper dice. I will be the blue dice. So here we go. Looks like I will be the attacker and John will be the defender. Okay, we have deployed. Basically, all of my units are in my sub. So the CLMX sub has the entire 6 people inside it, or 6 mutants, whatever you want to call them. So we deploy on a 3x3 foot table, just so everyone's aware. So basically, the base of a sub is almost the exact same length as a medium stick. So I deployed there with all my troops inside. John, let's talk about your deployment. Basically the same.
Right, so you deployed in your sub on this side.
Yep.
And now we are ready to go with first turn.
Yep, first turn.
I'm going to go attempt multiple activations with Lithiana. She's quality 2, so 2 up. So 2 actions this turn. Okay, so I've got 2 actions, and so what I'm going to do is I'm already moving speed 1 by default at the beginning of the game with a sub. So that means I can spend an action to increase my speed, lower my speed, or turn up to 90 degrees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 1 action. I'm going to move 1. I'm going to spend 1 action to increase my speed to 2. So
and then next turn you'll be going speed level 2 next turn.
Correct. So I'm going to increase my speed after I do a 90-degree turn. So the first thing I want to do is I'm already moving 1. I spend an action to turn up to 90 degrees. Then I spend another action to increase my speed to 2. So we're going to put him right there. So I increased my speed and I turned, so that is my activation. Over to John.
Okay, so for my turn, first up is I'm going to try to attempt multiple activations. My medical officer is quality 3, but I am in close proximity to my leader, so I get +1 to my quality check. So I'm activating on 2s.
Ooh.
And I get 1 action and my turn ends.
Oh, okay. So you
uh,
can increase or decrease your turn, right?
Yep. So
right.
I'm going to go ahead and here's my first one for speed 1.
Mm-hmm. You get that by default, just coming out of the blocks.
And then I'm going to go ahead and
increase speed
to speed 2.
Right on. Okay, subs coming after each other. All right, we're going to go to top of turn 2, Dark Mariners. Okay, top of turn 2, Dark Mariners. Lithiana is going to attempt as the pilot to activate the sub again. Here we go, activating on 2s. So 3 actions. Okay, so Dark Mariners CLMX sub has 3 actions. What I'm going to do is I'm already moving 2, so I want to turn, I want to slow down because I'm already closing ground with the Argonaut pretty quickly. So I'm going to turn, slow down, I still need to do my 1 move, then I'm going to shoot. So that basically looks like this. I'm going to turn, I'm going to spend another action, so that was the first action. Second action is to slow down to movement rate 1. I still need to move, which is going to put me about here. Try to be as accurate as we can. There. And now I'm going to shoot. This terrain was in the way, and I moved it too far forward. I was just trying to get it to stabilize, but we do want to make sure that we're moving it the correct distance. So we just moved the terrain a little bit. It's inconsequential. We'll move it back when we're done. But that's as far as he can move, and now I've got one more action, and I'm going to fire. So the Sealamek sub is being piloted by Lithiana. She expended her action to fire. The combat score to shoot the gun is actually coming from the Lightning Sniper. He's combat 4. I'm going to shoot the Swarm Torpedoes, which has a front arc. It is energy medium +3, armor break 3, and blast -1 short radius, resonate, and unstable. So I am combat skill 4. It is the energy weapon is +3, and I'm shooting at a huge target, so I am dice +8.
And my combat skill in this is 5, so I am dice +5.
Okay, so 8 versus 5. Here we go. Oof.
I got an 8.
And I got a
14.
14.
So I did not double it.
Did not double, but I did hit.
You did hit, and there's a 6-point difference, so my armor doesn't matter on that.
Right.
And because it is a sub-weapon, it inflicts double damage, so that is 2 wounds to the Argonaut.
That's right. So we did 2 points of damage to the Argonaut's body. So we are going to turn it over to the bottom of turn 2 to the Fortune Hunters.
Okay, so for my turn, first up, I'm going to activate my medical officer, who's my pilot, activating on 2s. 2 actions. So currently I am going at speed 2, so I'm going to go ahead and...
Subs circling each other.
I'm actually not going to adjust my speed.
Oh! Damn the torpedoes! Full speed ahead!
And I'm going to spend an action. Since I'm on your side now, I'm going to fire my torpedo battery.
Oh God!
And then I'm going to spend my second action, sorry, to do a reload after it fires.
Got it.
So I am combat 4 with my gunner, and the torpedo battery is dice +3, so that makes me 7, and +1 for a large target, so I'm at dice +8.
So my combat score is 5, so I am dice +5. All right, here we go.
So I got a 12.
I got a 9.
So that is a 3-point hit.
I've got an armor value of 4.
I have an armor break 4 on the torpedo battery.
Okay, so I think you do 2 points of damage.
2 points damage.
Right on. Spent 2 actions for your activation, and you got 1 more, right?
My sub's done. I had 2 actions total. I rolled a 1 on one of my activations.
Oh, that's right. You reloaded.
Yep.
Okay.
So now I'm going to go to my Templar Sentinel of Light in the sub, actually.
Gotcha.
And since he's joyriding it, I'm actually going to start channeling. So he channels on 2s.
Okay, channel them points.
He got 2 spell points.
All right.
So he's got 2 spell points stored for next turn. And now I'm going to go activate my Combat Engineer. And he has quality 4, but he gets +1 on that because of the proximity to Clegg, so he's activating on 3s.
Activate on 3s. Here we go.
2 successes, so I'm going to spend his 2 actions to repair the 2 damage you did to me earlier this turn.
Awesome. All right, top of turn 3, back over to the Dark Mariners. I am going to try to activate my sub again with Lithiana, quality 2. I get 1 action and I turn over the turn. So I'm already moving 1. That means I can spend 1 action to speed up, slow down, or turn.
Yep.
Okay, so I've got 1 action, so I got to make it count. So John astutely pointed out that I am very close to him. So if I'm going to do a 1, I'm going to take my action and I'm going to turn 90 degrees. Which ends up making me ram him. So we're going to stop it right there. And then I'm going to do my ram attack. So I am combat 5. And my hand-to-hand weapon ram is a bite, which is hand-to-hand +1 and armor break 3. So that makes me dice +6.
And I'm combat 5.
But do I get the huge bonus because you're huge?
I'm also huge.
Yeah, so I guess it isn't there, right? So I'm dice +6, and John, you are dice +5?
Yep.
All right, let's see what happens. Oh! Ooh.
So I got a 7.
You got a 7 and I got a 10. I hit you. Do I break your armor? Armor break 3.
And I am armor value of 5.
Okay, so the Sealamek turns his big old body to the right, goes hard to starboard, and takes a big old bite out of the Fortune Hunter Argonaut and does 2 points of damage to his body. And so that's my turn. Over to John, the bottom of turn 3. Another side effect of ramming is that both subs are now actually stopped. So we have to spend points to increase our speed, reduce our speed, and turn and all that stuff. But we actually don't have any carryover momentum on either sub right now. So we're going to go bottom of turn 3, Fortune Hunters.
Okay, first up I'm activating my medical officer. She's my sub-pilot. So, need 2s.
2s.
3 successes.
There we go.
Heroic.
Oh, nice. Did you get 2 6s?
2 6s and a 5.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yep.
So, first up, she's going to pop open the hatch.
There you go.
So my dudes can get out.
Top hatch?
We're going to open the bottom hatch.
Bottom hatch. All right.
Yep. So, and then for second action, I'm going to fire the deck gun at the Dark Mariners.
All right.
So that will be dice plus 8.
Right, because you're combat 5.
Now, combat 4.
Yeah.
Sorry, it'll be less than that. Deck gun is a little bit less.
Yeah.
Because my torpedoes were dice plus 8. The deck gun is only projectile plus 2.
Okay.
So I'm dice plus 7. Because I get 4 plus 2 for the gun plus 1 for the huge target.
Huge target. And I am dice plus 5.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Ugh.
So I got an 8.
I got a 7 total.
So I beat you by 1.
My armor is 4.
I have armor break 3, so that does get you.
That does get him. Yep.
So that will do 2 damage.
2 damage to the body.
Yep.
All right.
I have 2 actions remaining, but I need to get models disembarked from the sub, so I will not be using the remaining actions. So next up, I'm going to activate my Sentinel, my Templar Shadow Slayer.
Okay.
And he is going to attempt to disembark from the sub. He is quality 3, but he's in proximity to Clegg, so he activates on 2.
2. Here we go.
So that is 3 successes.
All right.
So it takes 1 action to disembark from the sub.
Right.
Then I'm going to spend his second action. I would really like to aim, but I'm going to get him a little bit moved over. I'm going to move him over to here. And then for his last action, he's going to fire on the Koila mech.
Okay.
And he is in combat 4, and he gets plus 1 for his weapon, so 5, and plus 1 for shooting at a huge target, so he has dice plus 6.
And I am basically combat 5, so 6 versus 5. Here we go. Ugh.
I got an 11.
I got a 6.
So I did not double you.
You did not, but you do a...
I do a wound.
Wound to the sub.
Yep. Okay, next up I'm going to activate my Sentinel of the Light, and he channeled 2 power points last turn.
Yep.
So now he activates on 2s. 3 successes. So I'm going to spend 1 action to get him out of the sub.
Okay.
I'm actually going to pop him out on the other side here because I think it's safer over here. And then for his next action, he's going to cast his spell Zone of Calm on the Koila mech.
Yep.
So that creates a short area where Ether Tech does not function.
Right. So EtherTech 2 devices or EtherTech 2 devices will not function.
Yep.
But if they're EtherTech 1, they would function,
Yep.
right?
Like most of my stuff.
Right.
Yeah. So I used I had a total, after getting out of the sub, I had a total, because I channeled last turn, I had 4 power points available, because I took 1 action to get out of the sub. I only need 3 to cast a spell, so that gives me 1 more action on it. So I'm going to go ahead and take my last action. I'm just going to go ahead and move.
Okay.
And
So basically, there's a zone around him that's a short stick radius. You can cast it up 3 medium sticks away, right?
Yep.
Because you had power points from before. It's centered on the Coelamek sub, so that affects that Coelamek. But then, now you're going to spend your last point to move, right?
Yep. And I'm just kind of staying out of the, I mean, I'm not concerned about the firing arc right now because all the sub's weapons are shut down. But he'll move out of it, but at least this way he'll have a hard time getting an angle on me.
Right.
So I'm just going to move here and kind of keep...
You actually killed the beginning of the move stick.
Oh, no, it's because this is edge. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Next up, I'm going to activate my engineer, and he activates on 3s. I'm down a couple of points from that ram, so
Okay.
3 successes, so I'm going to heal up the 2 damage from the ram.
Okay.
And I have 1 model left I want to activate, which is my heavy support trooper, and he will activate on 3s.
Alrighty.
1 success, so he gets out of the sub.
Oh, and then you got 2 failures?
Yeah, turn will end.
Okay, turn will end.
I was going to end it anyways, but
Yeah.
yeah. So
Okay, so you got some guys out of the sub. The Dark Mariner sub has taken 5 points of damage to the body. Also, its devices, including weapons and the devices on the characters inside weapons, are disabled within that short radius right on the center of him. So we're going to the top of turn 4, where the Dark Mariners need to get out of that zone if they want their stuff to work. Okay, we're top of turn 4 for the Dark Mariners. We're going to try Lithiana activating on 2s. So she got 2 actions.
you can ram me again.
I could. For my first action, I am going to open the bottom hatch so that some of the crew can get out. So I just spend the action to do that. The second action I'm going to spend is I'm going to bite with the the Sealamek. So he is combat 5, and his bite is +1. So I'm dice +6, and John, I think you're dice +5?
Dice +5.
All right, here we go. Oh. Ooh.
I got an 8.
I got a 12.
So you're going to do a couple damage points.
I am going to do a couple damage points. So 2 damage to the Fortune Hunter's body. All right, next up, I'm going to activate my Ethermancer. He's within a long stick of the leader, who is in the Melendil, who is in the sub. So he's going to channel spell points. He's going to channel them on 2s. So 2 spell points for him. Next up, I'm going to activate Yochloch the Mind Stealer. He is quality 3. He's a telepath, but he gains +1 on their spellcasting roll. He's also +1 because he's next to leader. So he's going to channel spell points at the tune of quality 2. So he's going to channel on 2s. He gets 2 spell points as well. All right, so we're going to go ahead next and try to activate the Vanguard Warrior. He's quality 4 normally. He's next to a leader. So he is quality 3. So he activates on 3s. 2 actions this turn. So first action is to get out of the sub. You can kind of get right there.
Yeah.
Let's do that. So the Vanguard Warrior popped out of the bottom of the sub, and he's going to stand right there. So his first action was to get out of the sub, which is that. Second action, go ahead and kill it. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move him, get him out of that zone, and basically position him right there. So that's his activation. So 2 actions. He gets into base to base with the Templar, but he does not have enough gas in the tank to do an attack. Next up, I will activate Melendil Runeseer. He is quality 3, so he activates on 3s. 1 action and my turn ends. It was going to end anyways. So he is going to get out of the sub.
And that will be his turn.
And that will be my turn. Right there. Let's put him right there. All right. That is the top of turn 4 over to the bottom of turn 4, Fortune Hunters. All right, bottom of turn 4, John. What are we going to do?
I have some high-risk stuff I want to do, so we're going to see how well this works. I'm going to activate my Templar Shadow Slayer first.
This guy?
Yep. He
All
activates on 2s, because he's still within a long stick of the sub where my leader is.
Yep. 2?
2 successes.
All right.
So I'm going to go ahead and do an aim shot
At the sub?
at the sub.
Okay.
So I will be rolling. His combat's 4, +1 for his weapon is 5, +1 for a large target is dice +6.
Right.
And I get to take a point off of yours.
Right. So I'm normally combat 5, so I'd be dice +4.
Yep. 6
All right.
versus 4.
6 versus 4.
I got a 10.
I got a 6.
So I didn't double you.
Did not double.
But I do have a point of damage.
1 more point of damage. So he's got 2 more points left?
2 left.
Yep.
Okay, next up I'm going to activate the pilot in the sub, my medical officer. So she's activating on 2s.
2. Here we go.
3 successes.
There you go.
So we're gonna go back up.
Okay, so you are still stationary from the collision.
Yep.
And actually, didn't you move?
I did not move.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You're still stationary. So you're going to move back 1.
I'm going to back it up.
So that's 1 action.
And then I'm going to fire my side torpedoes into the Koila mech. And those we have a blast radius, so a short stick.
Okay.
So I believe that will hit your...
Yep.
And I think everybody else is safe, assuming this hits.
Right.
So I am... With that, those would make me combat 4 for my guy firing. The torpedo battery is projectile +3.
Okay.
So dice +7. I'm firing on your sub, so I'll be dice +8.
Okay, so Sealamek is dice +5. So 5 versus 8?
Yep.
Alrighty.
I got a 13.
I got a 8. So did not double. Still hit.
Still hit, and now, because I got a 13, he has to, Marindel has to roll.
Right, versus
well.
a 13.
Versus
so he is
13.
only combat 2.
Let me verify that that's the blast radius. Blast is +0 short, so it is a full 13.
Okay. So he got an 8, so he's not doubled, but you do a wound to his
2
body.
wounds. It's a vehicle weapon.
That's right, so 2 wounds to the body and fallen.
And I believe I just killed your Koila mech.
I believe you did. Okay, so the sub now is considered destroyed. It's taken all the wound boxes on its body. So you don't remove the model from play. It becomes a wreck. And so now models that want to get out of the wreck need to spend 2 actions on their activation to get out. However, when the vehicle does become a wreck, you need to do a resistance check or else you take damage. So each model within the sub needs to take a resistance check. So first up, we're going to do the Ethermancer. He has a resistance of 6.
He's an armor bonus, though.
And +1 armor bonus, so he resists on 5s. So if I get 1 failure... Nothing. 2 failures, I take a wound. 3 failures, I take 2 wounds,
yep.
Right? Okay, so 5 up on the Ethermancer. So he takes 1 wound. Then Yochloch has a resistance of 5, +1 for his armor, so he resists on 4s. So he takes 1 wound as well. And then the Lightning Sniper is next. He's resistance 5, and he's got a body armor of 2, so he resists on 3s. So he got 2 successes, so no wounds. And then Lithiana has a resistance of 5 and body armor of 1, so she resists on 4s. So she's fine, she doesn't take any wounds. So 1 wound on the Ethermancer, 1 wound on Yochloch, and the other guys are fine. So in subsequent turns of mine, if I want to get those guys out of the sub, they need to spend 2 actions to get into base to base and outside of the sub.
So my pilot's all done. I moved backwards, I fired, and I reloaded the torpedo bay. So I'm going to move now to the combat engineer who's still in the sub. He needs to break out the old wrench. He is quality 3, so quality 4 +1 for the leader.
Right.
3 successes, so I'm going to heal up those 2 points of damage.
Okay. All right, who's next?
The heavy support trooper.
All right.
He's still within a long stick of the sub, so he's normally quality 4. He'll activate on 3.
On 3!
2 successes.
2 successes, yep.
So I'm going to have him run into here.
Okay.
Help out his buddy here.
All right.
So I do have 2 models in the fight, so I will get a flanking bonus.
Right.
And I am base combat 4. I did charge, so I get +1, so that puts me to 5. And I have my flanking model. So I am combat 4, I charge, so I am 5. And because I have a flanking model, that puts -1 to you.
Right. So I am combat 4, I have a plasma blade which is +2, so that would normally put me at 6, but I'm +5 because of the flanking opponent. So it's 5 versus 5. Here we go!
7 versus 8, you got me by 1.
I got you by 1. My armor break is 2.
I am armor 4, so no damage.
No damage, but you are knocked back.
Yep.
So we'll just knock you back 1 base length. And advantage.
Yep.
We always sort
Which won't factor in
It probably
because...
won't factor, yeah. Well, it might. Who knows? So Templar Sentinel of Light is next?
Yep.
All right.
I believe I am too far from the sub.
Let's take a look. I got a good angle here.
Nope.
Got it.
So I still activate on 2s.
Yep.
2 successes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to attempt to move. So that would be a disengage.
Right. So you need to do a quality check. Or get a free hack.
2s.
Yep.
Failed. You get a free hack.
Free hack. Okay. Yep. So I'm combat 4 with the blade is +2.
So you are dice +6. I'm dice +3.
6 versus 3. Here we go. Oh boy.
You did not. You did double me.
I did double you. So I'm 12 and you're 6.
Yep. So you did 2 wounds to him. He is dead.
Oh,
Yeah.
clutch.
He is dead.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Does that mean that spell is dead too?
It does.
Oh boy. Okay, so that was the bottom of turn 4. That was a fairly interesting clutch play by the Vanguard Warrior, killing the Templar Sentinel as he tried to get away. That also means that the spell that was killing the Tech Level 2 devices within that range is now down. So that's the bottom of turn 4. We're going to move the top of turn 5 for the Dark Mariners. All right. Top of turn 5, Dark Mariners. We've got a bunch of Dark Mariners in that sub. We got to get them out. So I'm going to start with Yochloch. He took 2 damage point. He took a damage point last turn due to a failed resistance check. Looking at the rules, we actually figured that since I didn't lose those wounds in combat, and John can correct me if I'm wrong, Since I didn't lose those wounds in combat, he actually still has the 2 spell points he channeled from last turn. John, does that sound about right?
That's my understanding too.
Okay, all right. So same with me. So he is quality 3. I am within a long stick of the leader, so I need 2 actions to get the heck out of that sub. So I need at least 2 2-ups in order to get out of the sub, which I do. So I put Yochlach outside the sub to try to give him some benefit from cover from that, plus next to the natural terrain for helping his armor. So I use 2 actions to get out of the sub. I've got 1 action remaining plus the 2 spell points I used from last turn. So I'm going to use a control spell against the heavy support trooper.
So he has will 4.
Right.
So I believe I need to, if you have 2 or more failures,
Right.
then you get control of the model.
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
So I need some 4s.
4s, here we go!
Got it.
You're fine.
Yep.
Right.
4, 4, 6.
I can't read your dice. Okay, 4, 4, 6.
Yep.
All right, so basically nothing happens there. All right, so next up we're going to go to the Cephalid Ethermancer. He is quality 3. Same with Yochlach. He's next to the leader, so he activates on 2s. So 2 successes. So he can spend 2 points to get out of that sub.
And then he has 2 spell points.
And he has 2 spell points. So he has 2 power points after he gets out of the sub, spending 2 actions. He's got 2 power points that he conjured from the last turn. So he's going to spend those 2 power points to do a dimensional jump. And so that allows him to take those 2 power points and do 2 actions, which I'm going to use as medium stick moves and put him right there. Okay, next up is Lithiana. She's quality 2, so she activates on 2s. Heroic activation, so she actually has 4 actions. So she spends 2 to get out of the sub. Where do I want to put her? She spends 2 of her 4 actions getting out of the sub. And medium stick. She's going to spend 1 of those actions, remaining actions, 2 actions, to charge this guy right here and do an attack. So 1 move to get in, and then 1 attack, 1 dice worth of attack. So she is combat 3. Her plasma blade is +2, +1 for charge. So that is 3
plus 6.
Plus 6. Yep,
And
dice plus 6.
I am dice plus 4.
All right, 6 versus 4. Here we go.
9 to 5.
5. So I don't double you.
You do a wound though.
I do a wound, and you are fallen.
Yep.
All right, next up, I'm going to activate the Vanguard Warrior. He's still within a long stick of my leaders, so he activates on 3s. Heroic activation. So is that a... I could do a... Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 1 action to move in and charge, and then I will do a 2-point Mighty Blow. So the math on that is...
So for me, I'm combat 4. But the Mighty Blow takes me to combat 2, and then I'm being flanked as well, so I'm dice plus 1 on this.
Right. And let's see. I am combat 4. My plasma blade is +2, so I'm 6 + 1 for the charge is 7.
Yep.
Right.
So 1 versus 7.
1 versus 7. Here we go. Oh,
He's gone.
he's super dead. All right. Oh, and plus, yeah, we've got the Mighty Blow for the -2 on you. All right, so next up, I am going to activate Melendil. He's over on the other side of the sub, and he has fallen, I believe, right?
He has.
Ooh, but he is outside the sub. So just a logistical note, the Lightning Sniper is still inside the sub.
Yeah.
So we're going to do him last, but we're going to do Melendil next. He is quality 3. 2 actions, which is probably enough.
He has to stand up first.
He has to stand up, so that's 1. And then... I want him...
You can't run the base into the sub, though.
Right. I gotta move. Basically, I want to stay close. He could charge the sub!
Yeah.
Let's do this. That puts him right about there. Put him right there. Okay, that's Melendil. And so now what's left is the Lightning Sniper. He's quality 4 normally. He's still within a long stick of my leader, so quality 3. That's a 1, 4, and a 3.
2 actions.
So 2 actions, so that gets him out of the sub.
Yep.
Where do I want to put him? right there. But that's my turn. Over to the bottom of turn 5 for the Fortune Hunters.
So first up, I'm going to activate my medic officer pilot, and she is quality 3. So once more with the leader. So
Yep.
activates on 2s. 2 successes.
All right.
So I'm currently in reverse.
You are moving backwards 1.
So I am going to come to a stop.
Okay, so spend 1 action to stop.
And I'm going to spend a second action to fire on him.
Him, all right.
Yep. So I am going to fire, I believe since I don't want to reload, I'm going to fire my harpoon deck gun at him.
Okay.
So I am rolling, that will be dice plus 6 on my attack roll with that.
Okay, he is going to do an emergency evade. So that uses up an action next turn, but he will be evading for this turn. And let's look up what that does.
He gets +1 to his combat
1, I
score.
think, yeah. Here we go!
I got a 10.
I got a 4, so he's doubled and dead.
He's gruesomely killed because I do
is.
double damage from the shot.
Right, so he is gruesomely killed, so I think that is a leadership check,
And
right?
he's also your leader.
Yep.
So that causes leadership check in your entire...
Yeah, so I think actually he was kind of like right here, so...
But it's your entire warband when your leader dies.
That's right, it doesn't matter. So let's do a quality check on everybody. So the Ethermancer, real quick, quality 3. He's fine.
By the way, was the Ethermancer within a short stick of him? Because there is a blast radius on that harpoon deck gun.
Yeah, he was, where was he? Well, now it's, let's just say he was.
Okay.
I think that's fair enough.
So he takes, and I rolled a...
You rolled a, you still have it there.
4, so I got a 10.
You got a 10,
It's
that's right.
-1 on this, so he's facing a 9-point hit on the Ethermancer.
Okay, so he is combat 2. 7 still hits him. What's the armor break on that? Well, body armor 1.
Armor break is 3, and it does double damage.
Okay, so he takes 2 points of damage
And he took
he's
1 earlier,
fallen. Yep, so if...
so he's taking
That's right, he's dead.
3 damage on him.
Yep, he's dead. Okay, and then leadership checks on everybody else.
Yep.
All right, let's do one for Lithiana. That's a quality check, yes?
It's a...
Or is, no, that's
It's a will check.
2 up.
Fine.
She's fine. The Vanguard Warrior is a... Where is he? Here he is. 2, he's a 4 up.
2, he is running.
He runs 1 medium
I'm
stick.
going to stick towards the closest table edge.
So he'll go right here. Put him there. And then the Lightning Sniper is a will of 4. Did I get that right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Nope, so he takes, well, he's like dead
1 medium
center of the
stick.
friggin' table.
And probably, I think it's
I think he's
that
probably
edge.
closer here, yeah. So we're gonna run. Whoop. And put him right there.
He won't go base to base.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, get out of here. So the Ethermancer is not within. Oh, actually, he does because it's a leadership. It's a leader kill. So he is will of 4. He is just fine. All right. So that was the shot against Melendil, who is now dead.
Yeah, he got gacked.
He sure did.
So I'm going to activate my heavy support trooper,
Okay.
and I will look for my dice. There they are. So he activates on quality 4, but I'm within a long stick of my character, so activates
3.
on 3.
Yes. What do we get? Oh.
1 success.
Yep. So you get 1 action.
Yep, and the turn will end. That's fine.
Yep.
What's Liliana's combat score?
I think it's 3.
I'm going to go ahead and take a shot at her with my multi-spear gun.
Okay.
So I will be rolling 5 dice on that.
All right. Dice plus 5.
Dice plus 5. Yeah.
5 dice.
Dice
Wow,
plus 5.
that's an amazing
Yeah.
character. So I'll be dice plus 3. She's actually next to natural terrain, and does she have that? Yeah, natural. So she gets -1 combat score
For me then.
for you.
So I'm dice plus 4.
Right, and so that makes me dice plus 3. Here we go. 2.
I got a 4 plus 4 is 8.
I got a 5, so you hit, and do a wound and fallen.
Yeah.
All right, and that is the bottom of turn 5. So let's do a quick recap on the score. Okay, so the points rundown at the bottom of turn 5 is my sub has been disabled, so that's 1. Melendil, my leader, has been killed, so that's plus 3, so that's 4. And then Yochlosh has been killed, so that's +2 because he's a personality. So John has 6 victory points. I have killed what, John?
My Templar Sentinel of Light for 2, and my Templar Shadow Slayer for 1.
All right, so right now at the top of turn 6, the score is 6-3. We're going to go to the top of turn 6, Dark Mariners. Okay, top of turn 6, Lithiana is fallen. She's quality 2, so I'm just going to try to activate her on 2s. So she gets 3 actions. The first thing she's going to do is stand up. And then she's got 2 actions remaining. I am going to... The only real viable target is him, so I'm going to move in and do an attack. So she's a move, so the charge is +1. Her combat skill is 3. She's got a plasma blade of +2. So that's 5 +1 because she charged. So a combat dice +6.
And I have dice +4.
All right, 6 versus 4. Here we go. Oh,
12
to 10.
So you got me by 2. I am armor 4.
I am armor break 2.
So I don't believe that's enough.
I beat you by 2, and I've got armor break 2.
Okay, that is enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
So a
one
wound and fallen. Yep. All right.
Yeah, he's so dead. Hey, I'm happy about that. That'll make my turns faster.
Yeah, right. Ethermancer, so next up I'm going to try to charge up spell points, channel spell points. So he no longer benefits from a leader, so he is now quality 3. He channels 3 spell points, so that will be his activation. And next up, I will try to activate my Vanguard Warrior. He is now quality 4. I think I'm going to do a quick activation.
Good plan.
And move up. There. So we'll keep my turn. Next up, I've got the Lightning Sniper. I could do a step and attack. Well, actually, you know what? Let's take that back. Because you're going to love doing your little torpedo thing. I'm not necessarily going to give you that.
I was looking at how nice they were all compressed together there.
So we're going to move him there. All right. The Lightning Sniper... Might as well go for broke. Quality 4! Hey, 2 actions. So with my 2 actions on the Lightning Sniper, he's going to move next to natural cover and he's going to do evasive action. And that is my turn. That was the top of turn 6. We're going to move over to the bottom of turn 6, Fortune Hunters.
I'm going to activate my medical officer who's driving the sub, and
Okay.
she activates on 2s.
Here we go! 2!
3 successes.
There you go.
So I'm going to go to speed level 1.
Because you stopped last turn, right?
I stopped last turn.
Yep. Oh, you need a medium
Medium
stick.
stick.
There you
So we're going to move up. Because I want to get a little beat on this fellow.
go. Okay.
So it's going to be like right there. And then for my second action, I'm going to fire my deck gun at him.
Okay.
So I am combat 4. My deck gun is +2, so 6.
Okay, and he is the Ethermancer. He has got natural armor, so next to natural cover, you're at -1, so you're 5.
5.
I am combat 2, so I am dice +2 and you're dice +5.
Yep.
Here we go!
So I got an 8.
I got a 5.
So I got you by 3.
Yep,
So that does 2 damage to him.
yep, 2 damage, and he is fallen.
And he had a point earlier.
Oh, that makes him dead.
So next up, I'm going to activate my heavy support trooper.
Okay.
He's going to attempt multiple actions. He's quality 4, but he's close to my captain, so he activates on 3s. 1 success.
Oh,
So he'll stand up.
stand up.
And that's turn.
Okay, so point recap. Right now, the Dark Mariners are sitting at how many points, John? Did we kill anybody last turn?
Nope, so you
Nope.
still got 3 points.
Still 3. And as of the end of this turn, you just killed the Ethermancer, and he is a personality, so that adds 2 to yours. So you're at 8.
Yep.
So we're at 8-3 Fortune Hunters. We're going to move on to the top of turn 7. Okay, top of turn 7, let's activate Lithiana. She activates on 2s. So 3 actions. So she is going to do a 2-point Mighty Blow against the Heavy Support Trooper. So she's combat 3, blade is +2, and -2 to your combat score.
So I'm rolling dice +2.
Yeah, she's a 5, and that makes you a 2, right?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
So I'm at a 7.
I'm at a 9.
So you got me by 2 points.
Got you by 2
I
points.
believe your armor break 2, right?
Armor break 2, yep.
So you got him.
Got him. Okay. So he gets killed. All right. So next up, let's see if we can activate this Dark Mariner's Vanguard Warrior. He activates on 4s. 2 actions, so he can get into combat with the sub. It's time to go for broke, folks. So he's going to charge that sub. Okay, so I've got 1 action left. Might as well try to poke a hole in that sub. So he's combat 4. His blade is +2. So he's combat dice +6.
Did you charge?
And I charged, which is +1, so it's dice +7.
I'm dice +5 +1 for being bigger, so I'm dice +6.
There we go. So 7 versus 6. Nope.
I got a 9.
Yeah, I think you hit me back. I got a 8, so you beat me by 1. My armor is 3. What's your armor break? 4?
Steel Spears, armor break 4.
Yeah, so I think I basically impale myself on the spar, and I am fallen. 1 point of damage to his body. Lightning Sniper, I gotta try to get multiple actions on 4s. Nope. 100% whiff, and the turn goes over to John. Okay, bottom of turn 7, Fortune Hunters. John, what you gonna do?
I'm gonna activate the sub.
All right.
Medical Officer, activating on 2.
2.
3 successes.
3 successes. All right.
So I'm going. First up, I'm moving speed 1.
You are.
So I'm going to go forward and I'm going to impale this guy.
Okay.
So we get a ramming onto a smaller model,
Right.
which causes the sub does not stop moving if ramming unless the defender is huge or another sub. So I'm going to roll right over him.
Okay.
So I am rolling dice +5, +6 because I'm bigger.
Your subs combat, yep.
Yep. So I'm rolling dice +6.
And I am dice +4 and +2 for my weapon, I assume?
Yep.
So dice +6 myself, but I'm fallen, so +1 to you.
+2 to me.
+2 to you.
So I'm at
that's right.
+8.
And I am dice +6.
So don't hit, but I move right past you.
All right, and I assume that he just kind of gets
He'll
pushed
just
out of the way.
place. Yep.
And he is still fallen.
So I'm going to move up. In my second action, I'm going to come to a stop.
Okay.
In my third action, I'm going to fire my deck gun at Liliana.
Okay. So she is combat 3. So she's 3, but she's next to natural
So I have a -1.
natural scenery, so you're -1 on you.
So I am at I'm normally +4, +2 for the weapon is 6, -1 for the cover, so I'm at dice +5.
Right, and I'm dice +3. Here we go.
I got a 10.
I got a 4.
So I
Doubled, and she's
and it doubled again because
yep.
it's a
because
4
it's,
damage.
Yep,
Yep.
so she is dead.
Is she gruesomely killed?
She's got 4 damage.
Not gruesomely killed.
Not gruesome. Well, she got 3 damage boxes, and you did 4 damage.
I gruesomely killed.
That's
her.
gruesomely killed.
Yeah.
All right, gruesomely killed Lithiana. Okay, so we just completed the bottom of turn 7, and at this point, I think we've kind of agreed that there's really not much more for us to do or see. The Dark Mariners have been defeated fairly soundly by the Fortune Hunters and their sub. So the end of the day, the points tally is the Dark Mariners got 4 points by killing a couple models. The Templar,
Both Templars.
both Templars and the heavy support trooper. John got 10 points worth of killing personalities, leaders, models in general, but he also gets the +5 points because he killed more models. Or has more models on the table at the end of the game, excuse me. So the end analysis of this battle report is 15 points to the Fortune Hunters and 4 points to the Dark Mariners. We'll go ahead and call that game a wrap. We're going to call it, and we'll do a little post-game analysis and wrap up. Okay, so that was our 800-point sub-battle game in Deep Wars. So, John, what did you think of that game?
Fortune Hunters run their subs really well.
Yeah, I think they run them very, very well. I think it was really hard for the Dark Mariners to do any damage that could not be repaired. I think if the engineer was not on board, it probably would have been a little bit easier to actually stay in the game. But with the engineer, it's an 80-point engineer.
Yeah, he is 82 points.
82-point engineer. With the ability to repair the sub, I think it's really difficult for the Dark Mariners to sort of keep pace. The Sealamech, I think on its own did just fine. The Argonaut with the Fortune Hunter crew, that's a tough beast to tame. Tell us a little about your list and how you felt like it did. Would you change anything?
There's one thing I would have changed with the list, but I didn't have the model painted, which is there's a way that I could have toggled some stuff around, and I could have dropped a heavy support trooper and done some tinkering with the list, and I could have fit in a second Templar Shadow Slayer. And I kind of wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Just because I think the problem when you have this type of list is you put a lot, when you do with subs, you put a lot of points into support models, and it's really tough to have the gas in the tank with your other models to really get a lot of work done afterwards.
Yeah. And I think for the Dark Mariners list, I think the list that I had was actually pretty good. I don't have any faults with it. I think Lithiana makes a great sub driver. The challenge is that, particularly with the Dark Mariners, with the sub, you're paying a little bit more, and with each one of the characters, you're paying a little bit more, so you don't really have a lot of extra wiggle room. And I think the lack of an ability to repair the sub in-game is, particularly when you're trying to fight the Argonaut, if the Argonaut has the engineer, that's pretty crippling to the game. So, I think it's a well-played game. I think we fought hard on both sides. I had a couple of really good activations there mid-game. It felt like, hey, this could actually work out. But just didn't have enough gas in the tank. So,
Subs clean up models fast, too, when they shoot into them.
Yeah, especially when you're shooting at them, you're doing double damage and double range. Once the models get out of the sub, it's scary. Don't you think?
Agreed.
Yeah. Okay. Any other thoughts on this game? Things to think about in terms of list construction or anything else?
I think medical officers make great pilots on subs.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's really kind of what my philosophy was as well in terms of picking Lithiana. Just being able to do the quality twos to activate the sub and get the most out of your activations, I think was key there. I think in terms of gunners. It's an interesting dynamic where the pilot supplies the actions, but you use the gunner's combat skill to do the actual shooting. So that's an interesting thing you got to kind of think about when you're putting your list together. It's like you don't necessarily need to worry about the quality of your gunner. You do need to worry about the key to running a sub very effectively is one, got to have a great pilot. You got to be activating on twos.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Anything else?
No, I think that about covers it.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed this undersea battle with the Hunt for Red October style sub battle here. So let us know what you think of the battle. Add any comments or thoughts you have on the game, and let us know. Give us a like or subscribe to our channel on YouTube and this video battle report. And we thank you for watching.